got a ton of recipes to share with you today. The house has been buzzing. We're all getting ready, getting everything set up for the big Eggstravaganza tomorrow. And all day yesterday, we were going, all day today it seems, even though like we just had, I don't know, 30 people over our house for a completely unrelated event. We have the bounce house, so we figure, hey, we might as well get our use out of it. Invite some friends over to hang out and play on it. But right now, it's time for me to get some food together. I still have to run to Party City later today, so hopefully I get some stuff marked off of my list that I need to do. So this is the food to cook the day before. Day of, seems pretty simple, and then put out the day of food. And then not to mention all the little stations that I have to put together, like the snow cone station and the bubbles, and I don't know, it's too much. First and foremost, most importantly, I am going to, what's the matter here? There we go. I'm gonna put together the carrot cake because, listen, it's not Easter without carrot cake. And I say that with a grain of salt because I think last year was the first year we even had carrot cake at all. Okay, what's happening? All right, there we go, we got some motion. This is a secret family recipe that I'm sharing with you because you're so special. I put the fine shredding blade on here, but that may have been a mistake. I feel like I'm breaking this thing. Come on, muscle. Maybe I just need to put more in there, I don't really know. I got this shredder. I've only used it for cheese, so I need 3 cups. Come on. That's literally, oh, maybe if I turn it up a little bit. Nope, we're off with a bang. I mean, it's going, it's just too slow for my liking. I think watching a shredder is so much fun. We may have different ideas of fun, but all right, something is not working. And this may be why people buy pre-shredded carrots, but let me tell you something. The taste result, the end result is completely different if you shred your own carrots. These carrots have so much moisture in them if you shred them yourself. If you buy them pre-shredded, they're so dry. But I understand the allure. Oh my gosh, what's the secret? Something is stuck. All right, I think I got the one that's stuck. Here we go. I'm annoyed. Can't trust machines these days. All right, I'm gonna do one at a time. Hey! When I tell you it's the year 2025 and I'm still trying to get 3 cups of shredded carrots right now, I figured out the best way to do it. Use my dang fingers. Don't try this at home. I don't care if this is 3 cups or not, I give up. That was the opposite of fast. Remind me not to do that again. We'll be feeding a lot of people tomorrow. I don't even know how many people are coming. We've tried to go, it doesn't even matter. I'm making what I'm making and that'll be good enough. I went back and forth on like, should I cater, should I not? And at the end of the day, like I'd be making this carrot cake anyway. My mashed potatoes are superior to anyone else who walks this face of earth, unless you two have found the Pioneer Woman mashed potato recipe. So I'm adding 2 cups of sugar to a mixer and then 1 cup of oil. Last year, I deviated and did butter. It was my first time making it. The cake was divine. But in the comments, I just spit, I'm so excited. A lot of you told me that oil is superior in instances like this, and I must have missed that class at Cordon Bleu. So I'm just going to take your advice and just do oil this time, and we'll see if it's any better. So 2 cups sugar, 1 cup of oil, mix that up, and then we're gonna add 4 eggs, and I just realized I didn't put it on my meal plan. I just added it last minute in my head. I'm making deviled eggs tomorrow. That is, if I have time. Ooh, that's looking weird. So here's where I'm going to add 4 eggs. It's a really simple recipe. I bet you have all the ingredients you need in your home. Whip that up. I'm gonna do a little splash of vanilla in here too. Then I'm going to add the carrots into this mixture. Looks so pretty. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do? And then mix this together. Looks so pretty. So those shredded carrots are really gonna help this cake stay moist. There are no instructions with this recipe. I'm sure if you want to be fancy, you can take the dry ingredients, mix them in a separate bowl, and then combine them into the wet, but that's not how I roll. Also, a lot of my aunt, shout out to Tante Lisa, a lot of her recipes come from the Amish, and I just feel like they keep things really simple. 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and then 2 cups of flour. I'm also gonna throw a little bit of salt in here to enhance the flavor, and then give that a mix. To add a little bit of crunch to this cake, I'm going to add walnuts. I always enjoy a good walnut on a holiday. Those are so great. I store my nuts in my freezer, so they stay good in your freezer for a really long time. If you keep them at room temperature, the oils in the nuts will make them go rancid. I'm just giving them a little chop, and then I'm gonna throw it in the KitchenAid. You can add raisins to this if you want to add some sweetness, but I'm gonna leave it at like that. Why did this fall in? You saw me screw it in. All right, keep mixing. Show must go on. That's showbiz, baby. All right, don't overmix it. Is that it? I feel like I should add some cinnamon to this or something. No? Okay. I wonder if I should have made 2 of these, but whatever, I only made 1. I'm gonna dump it into a 9x13 grease dish and then cook it in the oven, 350 degrees. Honestly, I forgot to write it down. I wanna say probably, let's do 35-ish minutes, see where that gets us. If not, you know, cook it till it's done. Sweet. You know what? I gotta taste the batter. Salmonella, I dare you. It tastes great. Somehow tastes like cinnamon. Maybe I'm tasting the sugar. I don't know. It's good. These are so good. Up next, I'm going to make the viral TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so I don't know what's viral. But it's the cucumber and bell pepper pasta salad. What is it called? No, it's just a salad. I love these mini little peppers that Costco sells because they are seedless. How do they do it? So the recipe calls for 6 to 7 mini bell peppers. I'm probably going to do more than that just because I'm feeding a lot of people tomorrow. But these little cucumbers too, calls for 3 or 4 of these. I feel like that's a single size serving. I'm out here trying to feed a crowd, so I am going to cut up some more. I'm trying to do as much prep work as I can the day before because day of, I just want to relax and, well, I say relax, chase kids around and enjoy the party. Now that the peppers are cooked, I'm just going to slice up the mini cucumbers. Trying to keep them like, you know, little chunky bits, not too small. These are so fun. My kids love when I pack these in their lunches. Bop, 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 bop to the top. Oh, hey, oh. All right, that's cool for now. I don't know how popular this dish is going to be, so we'll see. I was gonna make my famous keto Subway salad. You guys know how much I love it, but I've made it so much lately. Not lately, but just in general. I don't know, is that okay? Just the combination of peppers and cucumbers, so refreshing, so great, but I am gonna toss it with a little bit of everything but the bagel seasoning. I feel like this is gonna make anything taste better. And then it also calls for some chili oil, which I looked at 2 different grocery stores and just could not find it. And since it's TikTok and everything is super simple, apparently, it just calls for a store-bought dressing. And it is not this dressing, but this is the one I landed on. It's the sugar-free balsamic vinaigrette. Oh my gosh, I just think this is going to be so fantastic with it. I love this brand, the G. Hughes. He makes some really great products. The recipe calls for ginger sesame dressing, and she uses Bragg's, and I actually did find it at the second grocery store, and then I decided against it because it's made with apple cider vinegar. That's my least favorite thing probably on the planet, so I'm not going to make something with it. You know what I mean? It might be really good, but for the holidays, I just didn't want to mess it up, you know? I didn't want to ruin Easter. I got a phone call. And I think this needs more everything but the bagel seasoning. It's really good. I wouldn't say it's anything to write home about. Like, this isn't going to be the dish of the day that people remember, but it is really good. The combo of this, fantastic. This is a true balsamic vinaigrette. Tastes amazing. I have one more bite. I think I'm gonna cut up the rest. I really like it. I might need a bigger bowl, but I think it's a good, like, salad option, a good low carb. Are peppers a carb? Is butter a carb? Dairy-free option. And I think for that reason alone, it will be a hit. The more I sit here and prepare this, the more I love it. think I'm going to add more of this everything but the bagel seasoning. It adds such a great flavor. And then of course, more of the vinaigrette. I know I can't really judge this recipe fully because I deviated from the original ingredients, but it was really good and it went over very well and it was refreshing. So all good things. Moving right along, I have another healthy recipe. I think it'll fit in this bowl. Another refreshing dish, a homemade dressing, and this is one of my favorites. And it's really simple ingredients. I'm thinking about adding a poblano pepper to this just for a little extra I don't know yet. But this is what it's made out of. If you don't like red bell pepper, it actually calls for tomatoes, but I don't like tomatoes, so I always sub red bell pepper. Other than that, cucumber, green onion, feta cheese, cilantro, and corn. This is frozen corn. You can use fresh, canned. I just think frozen is the best. I'm going to cut everything pretty much the same size as a kernel of corn, just so it's nice and uniform. So I'm gonna take the cucumber and quarter it, and then dice it into pretty manageable pieces. There's just something about English cucumbers. So refreshing. I might do 2. I think I'm going to double this recipe, although the recipe only calls for less than a half a cup of diced cucumber. Even these are pretty big, hunky, chunky pieces. Whatever. And then next, I'm going to cut a red bell pepper. They have so much flavor, so many vitamins, so many nutrients, and I'm going to dice these into similar sized pieces as well. So refreshing and full of flavor. I have a hefty amount of green onion here. I'm just going to chop this up. I'm so glad I have replenished my green onion stash. I'm gonna throw some in a cup of water. So I have green onion for next time I need it. I feel like every time I need it, I don't have any. I'm gonna throw this in. And some cilantro. It's all about the herbs. Probably gonna cut up 2 bundles of this. They're just so fragrant and so delicious. All right. We've got the bowl. Just need to add some corn in here. So about 3 cups of corn, but I might do the whole bag. I had it frozen. I think you're supposed to thaw it out. Man, I need a bigger bowl again. Am I making a mistake? I think there's plenty of room, and I'm just going to add the rest of the bag in here. This is a 1-pound bag. I'm also gonna throw feta cheese on here the day of. I mean, it's a pretty hearty cheese. I'm just gonna throw it in now. Sprinkle that on top, and then I'm gonna mix everything up and throw the dressing together. So typically I would mix this separately and then combine it, but I might still do that. I'm just gonna mix it in a bowl. Some olive oil, equal parts oil, and red wine. Ooh, it doesn't have a cap on it. Red wine vinegar, all right, feeling good, feeling good. A little bit of salt and pepper. And this doesn't have like Dijon in it. Oh gosh, that's a lot. And also some garlic, freshly grated, but I'm just not feeling it right now. Whisk this together, and then I'm gonna toss everything in here and give it a nice mix. And then I'm gonna put it back in the other bowl because it does fit in there. It just doesn't have a lot of space to be tossed. This is one of my favorite corn salads. I like to serve it with really anything during the summer. It's just really refreshing, and it has a lot of flavors in here. It's also super colorful and vibrant too. It's really inviting. I like it. I think I'm missing a tray. One of my like 15 by, I don't know, 17-inch dishes. I have one. I should have 2. One is white, and I was gonna put the potatoes in there. I don't know, but for now, I'm going to put together banana pudding, but this time I'm gonna use Nilla wafers as requested by my children instead of the super expensive Chessman cookies. But I was Googling, and Chessman comes out with like spring Chessman cookies. During the holidays, they come out with like holiday Chessman cookies. I was happy they made the choice for the Nilla wafers because they're more affordable. So I bought 2 boxes of these. Hopefully that's enough. I feel like it will be. I actually read the instructions to this probably 7 times because last time I made it, I really messed it up. So fingers crossed. Ah! I made a mistake. I thought I knew it was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna mess it up. I've got 1 layer of vanilla wafers, and I'm going to layer on top just some sliced up bananas. And I tried to get the most speckled bananas I could. I actually think these are a few days old. I've had them. I already feel like I'm doing something wrong. No, this is it. My kids are at the beach right now. Otherwise, I would elicit their help. I wish I was at the beach right now.
Just to be clear, the older two girls were at the beach with their cousins, and those are the two that usually help me with, cooking and specifically the banana pudding, mostly because they're the ones who love it so much. And even though you saw in the previous clip a little bit that I messed it up royally, it still went over really well, and it was the hit. Next time I'll make 2.
All right, whatever. Good enough. Next thing I'm gonna do is pour 2 cups of milk and mix it with the instant vanilla pudding. This is the big box, so 5 ounces. By the way, this is Paula Deen's recipe. I guess it's like one of the best. I'm gonna mix this until it's like thick. So when the pudding is done, I'm going to reserve it in a bowl and then mix together 1 block of cream cheese, 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. This one looks a little yellow. Is that okay? Is this expired? Oh, not till next year. All right, good to go. So whip this up. If you can see how creamy this is. Oh, yeah, you see that? And then I'm going to add in 12 ounces, I hope this is right, 12 ounces of Cool Whip or whipped cream, from the freezer section. It's thawed out, and I only bought an 8-ounce container because I'm telling you, my local grocery store, there's something wrong with it. So I just got 2, and I'm gonna add in all of it. So I'll mix that in. Am I supposed to fold it? That would make the most sense. Fold it in. Lots of steps, lots of folding. I'm gonna add this pudding mixture in here and fold this all together. Lots of dishes to wash. Ooh, but it looks so pretty. And this is the filling. This is what people love, okay? Banana pudding and all that good stuff. Honestly, I'm not sure I've ever eaten it, but I'm just not a fan of pudding in general, or really bananas, especially when they're sitting out for a whole day. But maybe I'd like it if it was like covered in sugar, which is essentially what this is. Oh, come on, the gloppiness of this, absolute perfection. Ooh, the cookies are smushing. Wait, do I add more bananas? Oh, if not, I made a grave mistake. Ah, I made a mistake. I had 4 more bananas to put in. Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm the worst. Oh, holy crap. See, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna mess it up. Should I scoop it out? What do I do? Should I add them on top? I can't do that. I read it 7 times. 7. Well, you know what? Last time I made it so bad, I literally had to toss it and start over. So progress is being made, but I still have a long way to go, okay? I don't know why I can't get this right. Maybe it's the way that the instructions are. I don't know. I'm just gonna add more bananas here, and that's just going to be fine because it must.
Christopher Walken style. Listen, I think people raved more about this dish than any other dish that was on the table, and for good reason. And I always tell them my secret recipe is from Paula Deen. I'm like, oh, well, they're good news because you can make it too. Nothing secret about it. Just go online and follow Paula Deen's, not Yo Mama's, but what is it called? Banana pudding. And yeah, it's great. I guess it's great. I don't like banana pudding, so I have never tried it or eaten it, but people rave about it over and over again, even though I mess it up, which just goes to show you, even if you mess stuff up, just keep going. The end result will likely turn out just fine. I was actually talking to someone else who said, oh, one day they were making something, they had pregnancy brain, and they were trying to make mashed potatoes, or no, I don't know what, but they messed it up royally, and it still ended up turning out fantastic. So just keep on going.
Now I'm going to throw together mashed potatoes. I have 10 pounds of Yukon Gold, okay, new gold, I don't know, and it has to be gold, that's the kicker. I didn't know this information. My entire life, I was raised on making mashed potatoes with russets, which apparently are very starchy and not the best for mashed potatoes. So that's why, if you're trying to make the world's best, use Yukon Gold or any kind of gold potato. So that's what I have, 10 pounds. I'm gonna peel them and dice them and boil them.
Speaking of mashed potatoes, this is when we were having the conversation. Someone was telling me how oh gosh, now I don't even remember. I didn't remember earlier either. They were making something to do with potatoes, but they just went on autopilot and started making mashed potato. Oh, they were making potato salad. That was it. But then they added milk, and one of the family members couldn't have milk unless it was cooked. Like, if you had an allergy like that. So then she had to like re-boil it on the stovetop, get it warm. And then she had to cool it down because it was going into potato salad. So she had to put it in the fridge. It was a whole thing. But the point of the matter is, even if you mess something up, you work with what you have, and it'll all turn out just fine in the end, hopefully, if you can modify and kind of roll with it. Oh, I almost forgot in the video and in real life and just now that I also made deviled eggs. And this is typically something that one of my sister-in-laws always makes. Another thing that like I'm not really into, but it's always a staple at really any get-together, any party. Super easy to make. And especially convenient if you buy the eggs pre-boiled, pre-peeled, which is my favorite thing to do at Costco. I like to have these in the fridge on hand anyway because I like to dice up a couple of boiled eggs in my salad. Sometimes I'll just grab a couple boiled eggs. It's like a quick, easy, no fuss, protein, healthy snack, that kind of thing. So I bought a box just to make deviled eggs, and I can't remember how many are in the box, but you'll see I make quite a few. I got this tray several years ago. Someone got it for me, but they sell it on Amazon. I used to have two. I kind of feel like I brought one to an event and it never made its way back home to me. So I only have one left, but I ended up using one of these trays anyway. You don't need any specific deviled egg tools, but I will say, the tray that I have comes with a lid, so it like easily stacks. Nothing's gonna smush the eggs. It's actual perfection. And the only thing I do to the yolks, I just mash them up really well, and I still ended up having some chunks. You can do this with a beater, like a hand mixer, whatever. But I just went in there with like a pastry blender, and then I added mayonnaise and salt. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I know some people add relish. That's always a good one. But I just wanted to keep it simple, no fuss. Some people add mustard. Sometimes I just do a squirt of mustard. But this time I just did mayonnaise and salt. Try not to go heavy-handed on the salt because it can get out of hand really quickly. Done that before, speaking from experience. Okay, and then my world-famous mashed potatoes, also known as, who's that woman? Pioneer Woman. So I'm doubling the recipe. Hers calls for 5 pounds of potatoes, 1 stick of cream cheese, I want to say 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to say her holiday ones have 2 sticks of butter, and then around a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup each of heavy whipping cream and half and half. And I just, I don't measure. I think I put 3 sticks of butter in here. If I'm making these on a normal average every day, like I don't add all of this stuff. And let's be honest, I don't make mashed potatoes on a normal average every day, but you can freeze mashed potatoes. If you're wondering, they freeze really well. But typically I just put like a couple pats of butter, splash of milk, sometimes not even, and then you're good to go, salt and pepper. So for the frosting, for the carrot cake, it's 1 block of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter, and 4 cups of powdered sugar. I didn't film myself making it, but it's really simple. No fuss, no skill involved at all. That's what this is all about. It's like hosting, especially for a large amount of people, but keep it minimal as far as effort goes. Minimal effort, maximum results, and yeah, that's all you really need. Okay, you don't have to be extravagant. I mean, I know some people are. I have Instagram too, and I see what some people do, and I'm like, holy fajoli. Okay, I don't know. I like to say we keep it simple, but some people look at the things that we do, and they're like, oh my gosh, wow, you went above and beyond. So take it with a grain of salt. Do what you can, and it will be good enough. And even just the little details can excite people, especially children. Okay, I'm moving on to this trifle, the fruit trifle. I made this last year for summer. I want to say 4th of July, back if you want to look at a proper recipe video of it. But my goodness gracious, my memory did not serve me as correctly as it should have, because this thing was bonkers. I could have eaten the entire thing, the entire trifle, whatever it is. Presentation, 20 out of 10. Taste, 500 out of 10. It is a macro-friendly foods recipe. It is healthy. It is protein because we've got some yogurt in the topping. I just cut up the fruit the night before, and then the day of, I made the yogurt topping. I don't know. I'm sure you can do it all the night before, but I didn't. Okay, but we've got the rainbow here. red, orange, yellow, green, blue. We got strawberry, cantaloupe, pineapple, honeydew, and blueberry. You can use any fruit that you enjoy. There are no limitations here. This is the topping to it. I made it day of, so I just added this clip here. But it is 1 block of cream cheese. I'm grabbing some lime zest. I've got some yogurt. It's the key lime yogurt. Oh, yes. It's good. You guys know I love macro-friendly foods. Elise Ellis, follow her on Instagram. She shares recipes there. Also macro-friendly foods on Instagram. They share recipes. They share a lot of great inspiration if you're looking for healthier recipes. Now is a great time to dive in because it is, well, for me, the April recipes just came out and I'm like, yes, it's a perfect time because I need to meal plan. I have no idea what's for dinner. Simple, easy, family-friendly meals, and that's why I love them. I've been using her for years. And high protein. High protein, that's what it's all about. I know people have different ideas on what healthy means, but in general, hers are, quote, macro-friendly. That's why, that's how they get their name. But actually have an affiliate link, 10% off if you're interested in getting them. She also sells like, I don't know, ebooks too. So you can tinker around the website, but I almost forgot how good that trifle was until I ate it that day. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is heaven in a bowl. And I'm not huge on fruit dips, so I think that says a lot. I also started taking this stuff out for the ice or the snow cone machine. I got all of these flavors off of Amazon. I typically get them during the summertime at Target and I stock up because it's like $2.99 a bottle. These were a little more expensive, but flavors that Target typically doesn't have. So I was happy, got the straws and cups off Amazon. And what I'm about to share is a clip from like midnight. And Alex is like, I've got an Easter basket for you. Got me an Easter basket. Why'd you give me an Easter basket? I don't understand. You seriously bought all this for me?
Yeah, you like it? Look.
Oh my god! Her judgments? Judgments! Oh, they're mints.
Look, keep your feet.
Oh, how funny.
Keep your feet warm.
What the heck? Why? Where did you find all this Golden Girl stuff? What? Oh my god, look how cute! Dorothy's and like mints. Blanche's Southern Charm mints. That's it? They don't have one for Rose? Crap. Alex, why'd you give me so many chocolates? My beauty is on my... I'm just so petite. Kitchen towels? I don't
care about baskets. You're the one who cares. You're the one who
I don't
says
care.
Like, every year you post it on Instagram.
Oh my god.
Hope my husband gets me a basket this year.
It's the morning of. I have to clean my floors and set up and make a couple more things and put some... There's actually a lot to do. We have a whole running list. But first things first, I'm going to try to get the food out of the way. Even though this only takes, I feel like, an hour in the Crockpot. This is Crockpot mac and cheese. It is tried and true. Great, great, great recipe. Very expensive because all the cheese, right? I'm doubling. So I have... this is the actual recipe. You need 16 ounces of essentially everything. So 16 ounces of Velveeta cheese, 16 ounces of Colby Jack, sharp cheddar, pasta, and evaporated milk, and then 1 stick of butter. So I'm just gonna chop and drop. I couldn't find Colby Jack in this form, so I just bought it shredded. We'll see how it affects everything. Let me start off by saying I did not serve this in the Crockpot. I should have had 2 Crockpots, but I literally only have 1 Crockpot. I had to borrow one from our neighbor. Oh my gosh, I still have to give it back to him. You'll see that later in the video. But I threw in all the cheese and just let it melt because as soon as I put all the cheese in, I realized there is 0 space for all the pasta. I doubled it, so I had, 2 pounds of pasta to add in. You cook the pasta before you add it in, and then within a matter of an hour, I would say that's as long as it takes for the cheese to melt, and you're good to go. On low, an hour on low, I want to say. I think the recipe says 2 hours, but I just think the pasta would get too gummy. Don't cook the pasta all the way either. I would do it to like al dente, so it still has a little bite left to it, and then add it to the Crockpot because it's going to continue to cook a little bit. But I just added it to a couple of trays and then mixed in the cheese later. And honestly, it was a really big goopy mess. So this is morning of. I'm trying to just set everything up. I got these plates from Amazon. They're so dang cute. But But these are the food tables. We put 3 tables up here just to serve the food on, and put plates and forks at either end. And I'll tell you, last year we ran out of plates and forks. So this year I got a ton, and we still like almost ran out. Ridiculous. I will say another tip: if you're hosting, I what are those, like 7 9-inch plates, 8-inch plates, something like that. I want to say they're 8. But then I also got appetizer/dessert plates, and I feel like that saved a lot because people didn't have to grab a whole plate if they were getting just a few things of fruit or whatever. So that was nice to have both options available. And I never get the spoons and knives, although I'm sure it would have helped some people out. I don't know. I just feel like those are always left over. I only really get the forks. I just buy a pack of 500 from Costco, and we go through that, like, I don't know, however long it takes. So these are the tables I'm trying to set up. I bought these from Party City, these Easter wreaths, and I bought them like the day before. Listen, I maybe if I would have done better planning, I could have gone to Hobby Lobby and gotten some really nice spring, I said wreaths. It's garland, really cute garland. I'm sure they sell it. I don't know. I have like 1 sprig, but 1, I don't really decorate my house. And 2, I only had 1. So I needed more to set up these tables just to give it a little character, to give it a little something special and extra. And then I forgot that I ordered these. I don't even know what they're table runners, I suppose, kind of. They're, you know what? I don't know what the fabric is. Let me look. So they're describing it on Amazon as cheesecloth. They sell that in a ton of different colors. It just gives, a centerpiece or table, whatever you're trying to set up for, a little more interest. Proper people do this when they're putting together big events. And I did this, I saw it on Pinterest, and I did it for Meredith's birthday party on like her craft table, and I just loved the way that it looked, so I thought I would add it to a couple of the tables that we have. So this is like the entry table, and I found the best price I found on Amazon with these bunny ears, and honestly I should have bought double this amount. But you know what? You live and you learn. For next year, I was under the impression this year would be a lot smaller than last year. It was smaller, but hardly. And so I think next year I'll be able to prepare for the 4th annual. Next year will be the 4th annual. I think. Is this the 3rd annual? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, the bunny ears, they lit up. They were so much fun. The kids really enjoyed them. And honestly, there's like hardly any left at our house. Like I maybe have found 1 pair. So that means that people took them home with them and really enjoyed them. And they're great quality especially for the price. And especially for the fact that they lit up. So that was really cute and fun. And also, if you can see behind Meredith, that the quick little shot that I showed, there's Peeps lining the driveway. They did end up going on sale, like very last minute. And I thought, okay, well, now's the time. I think I told you about the Peeps earlier in a previous video. But I bought them, and they looked so darling lining the driveway. The quality is great. The reviews on Amazon were horrible, but I took a chance because they were on sale, and I was like, I had faith in them, and they're great quality. So I'll be able to save them for years to come and I'm happy about that because even on sale, it's more than I wanted to spend on like yard decor, but we've been able to keep a lot of it from past years too. So that's really great. Like the steaks. So that's good. This is the cheese. I just gave it a mix. And then also I second guess. Like once I heard Alex talking about, and so-and-so is coming, and so-and-so is coming, I was like, oh my gosh, did I make enough food? I'm so glad that I had all these random little things planned because like this chicken salad in a croissant, because this tray was gone. Last year I made this and like no one touched it. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there or what the difference was. Maybe it was more in the forefront of the table. I couldn't tell you, but people gobbled this up. It was an empty tray before I knew it. And I thought, what the heck was on here? Maybe last year I made twice as many. I really honestly couldn't even tell you. And then one other thing, I totally forgot to put out food labels.
Hustling and bustling around, trying to get everything ready for today. And I needed to document this beautiful dress that I got thrifted. It's beautiful, as aforementioned, and I feel like a princess, and it's cute and flattering and used to fit me until the zipper busted. So now I have to change. Alex is like, do you have a backup? I said, a backup? Easter dress? I donated all of them
5 years ago. I don't know what to do, but I felt like it needed to be documented, this gorgeous dress. C'est la vie, that's showbiz, baby. Dress number 2. It'll do. Not my favorite. And the back, this is, I feel exposed. I feel like I don't have the right undergarments for this. There are no pockets. C'est la vie and all that stuff. Well, it was one catastrophe after another. As soon as I got out from my broken dress, which I should have known because it was so hard to zip up in the first place. So sad. I liked that thing. But life happens. I came out and was trying to make sure I had all the food prepared. Well, I didn't, okay? I totally forgot about the carrots / a veggie / what the heck. Every year I forget about the carrots. It's just become a tradition at this point. They were crunchy when I served them. I feel horrible. They were so bad. But it's a really great recipe. Just ranch, seasoning, butter, carrots. That's all you need. I didn't measure anything, obviously. I was like, it's good enough. It's going to be great. And they were really great when we put them back inside in the crock pot and let them cook a little longer. But at that point, everyone was gone. So it was just Alex gobbling them up at like midnight. So there was that. There was the carrot catastrophe. And then I had a ham catastrophe. First of all, first ham didn't come with a seasoning packet like that, the brown sugar seasoning packet. I just threw it in the microwave this year. I was like, so over this. I don't want to wash another pan. Just put it in the microwave. I mix it with my fingers like I'm not washing another spoon. My niece is right there. She's so great. So I used one packet to cover both of the hams. Oh, and the catastrophe with that was, I was like, oh my gosh, I only have one packet. And then I took the knife to cut it off and it sliced it open. Brown sugar went everywhere. I was like, are you joking? So, you just got to keep on going at that point. And so I just made it work and it was fine. And the ham turned out just fine. And I put it in the oven, covered it. Normally I do it in the crock pot and it's delicious, but I just threw it on a roasting pan. I had someone help me take the ham out of the oven because I was holding Wolfgang and she goes, this is the heaviest ham ever. I was like, oh, well, it's 2 hams. That's why. It's probably like 40 pounds taking it out of the oven. I should have warned her, but to me, I just wasn't even thinking about it, because I'm just so strong. So that is the goopy mess that the pasta made, the crock pot mac and cheese. I would prefer cooking this in the crock pot or like leaving in the crock pot. Obviously, I didn't have enough crock pots. Does that mean I need to go to the thrift store and buy another crock pot? Yes, it does. And also, I ended up putting it in the oven just to let it cook. I covered it with foil. Same with the ham and mashed potatoes, just to keep them warm, let them cook. Because I put out all the small stuff first, and then we have the egg hunt, and then after the egg hunt is like lunchtime. So that's when I bring out everything else. I don't know, maybe next year I'll have brunch. I question that every year. And then I'm like, no, you have to have ham and mashed potato. Like that's a thing. So here is just like the hors d'oeuvres table, some of it. And then we had a lot more in the outside, but I just wanted, people to feel welcome to come in it and outside, not to feel like they only had to stay outside. So, we had all kinds of things going on out front, out back. These are a couple of the activity tables. I did a lot of delegating this year. I'd like to give myself a little hand for that because normally I do not delegate. It's not my thing. Alex is very good at that, but I'm very much not. So I had people help me set up some of the tables. My niece, shout out. Sorry I didn't shout you out before. She set up one of the cracker stations. So I was like, you can do it. You're going to be great. And she was. One of Alex's brothers, my brother-in-law, set this thing up and this little pumper station. This is always a hit. It's low cost, low fuss, almost zero parent involvement if your child is over the age of 1. Even Wolfgang can do this, and the kids love it. It's like a dueling stomp rocket, I think it's what it's called. I try to find activities that are low parent involvement. Again, keep the kids entertained, easy to do, like that kind of thing. This was a hit. The Painting Rocks was a super hit. The Play-Doh is always a hit. That's why I do it every year. And then the flower pots, surprisingly, a hit. I had my qualms about it, but it ended up being, I don't think there are any left of that either. Maybe a couple. But you colored them and then, you put the wrap into the flower pot and then, when they get home, they can put some seeds in it or whatever. I loved this. Wolfgang and Wentworth were matching. So cute. And then we had the egg hunt. I think I showed a clip of the Easter Bunny was there. I'm showing a clip of just us Easter egg hunting. Oh my heck. Oh, I tried to get a far enough away clip so you couldn't really see people, but you could also see like, whoa, there's people. And, egg hunting and doing all the things. I didn't get any clips of us putting the eggs together, like stuffing the eggs. And oh my gosh, nepotism at its finest, you guys. Alex was like, there's a big golden egg. Like no one knew what it was or what was inside of it. The older kids were like, what's in the egg? I was like, $20. But no, I had no idea what was in the big golden egg. Alex was like, there's a big golden egg, find it. And of course, who finds it? Our son, Wentworth. It was honest. I got the whole thing of it. He's like, I found it. He was so excited, so pumped. So that was really cool for Alex is like, I'm going to put it in a really common area and everyone's just going to walk by it. And it's true. 10 minutes into the hunt, Alex is like, there's a really big golden egg. You're going to find it. So, oh my gosh, speaking of big, this bounce house, are you joking me? The kids loved it. It was 110 feet, I want to say. Absolutely massive, absolutely ridiculous, absolute fun. And then halfway through the day, Alex announced like, hey, we're going to put water on it. So if you want to stay dry, like maybe do a different activity. But, a lot of the kids were finding this fun and refreshing. And so there was a spot where you could slide down. And if you didn't want to get wet, you could stay on the other side of it. And for the most part, it stayed pretty fine. They actually haven't picked it up yet. We had it all weekend. I'm showing you some of the artistic abilities that some people have, just made a rock and left it on the table. That pig, so adorable if you saw it. That was a complete masterpiece. Lots of rainbows. And we figured, if there's scribbles from the younger kids, just flip the rock over and you have a whole new one. But these rocks were it. They were fantastic. Best rocks I've ever bought off Amazon. So if you're looking for really good quality ones, I would definitely recommend those. I'll try to link them below for you. But here's the tablescape and everything.
We're like 4 or 5 hours into this party, and obviously it has died down a lot. I think at this point it's like the after party. A few people have showed up, and we're like, well, I guess this is the after party. So I thought I would come in and hang out with you and update for a second. Wow. I feel like I never get enough pictures. I feel like I never get enough one-on-one time with people because I'm just bouncing around trying to be a good host. A lot of fun food, a lot of fun activities for the kids to enjoy. The snow cone machine was a bust, mostly because we didn't have ice. I think they put all the ice in the cooler and didn't realize we needed to save some for the snow cone machine, but that just means next time we have ice, it'll be poppin'. We do have an ice machine, but that broke last summer. We tried to get someone out to fix it. Might have to just buy a new one. I don't know. Kind of besides the point, but we're having a grand old time, and I feel like the cleanup after this is going to be miserable.
Yeah, cleanup is miserable. Still haven't finished that, but we'll get to that when we can. I just wanted to show you a couple little things around the yard. These peep signs, I already raved about them. They're fantastic. The Easter bunny that I got last year, I totally forgot about him, and I was so pumped. I literally squealed when Alex brought him down from the attic. It was such a great surprise. I was like, I love her. I don't know if it's a her or him. It really doesn't matter. I just wanted to show you some lake life living here. Everyone in the lake having a good time. Tubing. There's boats out there. People have their jet skis out there. It's just like, the neighbors getting out and, meeting and mingling and having a good time. It's just so fun. Oh, and then later in the day, some of our neighbors came over and this is their dog. So handsome.
I'm pooped. The after party just left. Kind of. They're leaving right now. Our neighbors across the lake, they came by after their, Easter and just to climb on the bounce house. They played soccer a little bit. Woo, it's always a good time. Now it's time to clean up. We're going to take a little break before we do any of that. I think it was a successful Easter. I've just been, tidying up, and we put one table away. I mean, a bunch of people helped put the main stuff away out here, tables and chairs, but we still have the food tables out. One of them is put away, and which happened to be the dessert table, which there were a ton of desserts. So now they're all inside. So every time I go outside to inside, I'm just eating a platter of cake, taking bites. I'm like, I need to throw this away and get rid of it before I eat the entire confection. The crafts were a hit, by the way. The flower pot, the finished flower pot, I don't think I showed you, but something along these lines. The stones were huge hits, painting rocks or whatever. And then Play-Doh, it's still here. She's literally still playing with it. Oh, the snow cone machine. I had a little incident with the snow cone machine over here. it wasn't working, so I came to Silver. Tinker around a bit to figure it out. I ended up tinkering into the blade and just ripped my finger open, so that was a lot of fun. And by fun, I mean bloody. So I don't know what's wrong with it, but we've used it like once and it's already broken, so I'm gonna have to try to figure that out. But otherwise, it was a good time. Hopefully everyone sleeps well tonight because the sun was brutal. I hope I don't have... No! Sunburn! No! It's crispy. It's crispy! It's not even a good tan line either.
Can I say something?
What is that? All night long, all night. Yeah! Woo! Good jump. I wonder what my back looks like. Is my back burnt too? Oh, I don't want to look. I'm terrified. Well, that's cool. Okay.
Happy to report. Well, can I report? I don't know. I don't feel burned, so I guess that's good. So, next time, sunscreen. I always say it. I always put it on my face, so there's that. Better than nothing. I'm putting together the Easter baskets. Wait, did I talk to you beforehand? I'm the worst. I didn't give them their Easter baskets yesterday. Yesterday was Easter. They didn't say anything about them. They didn't, but you know, typically I was just, when you're hosting a thing like that, there's a lot involved. So some things just fall priorities. And I think last year I gave them to them that night, but we just had so many people in and out that it really didn't end until nightfall anyway. And then it was like bedtime. We've got school the next day. We really, I don't know, shouldn't have school the next day. That's how I feel about New Year's too. Like, come on, give us a break a little bit. But these are the things that I put in their baskets. And even after I show you, I ended up finding a couple more things specifically for Wentworth that were in my closet that I almost forgot about. So those are in his basket now too. And I found a lot of things at the thrift store for the older kids. Younger kids, I shared a haul on a lot of things that I got them off of Amazon or the store or whatever. I found a lot of really cool things. I try to keep it low key, but every time I say that, I'm like, And honestly, comparing to some other people, this is kind of low key, but also, you know, I like to keep it middle range is how I live my life. We like to stay in our bubble and it doesn't matter what other people are doing. And I hope that you feel the same way. Don't feel like you have to put together stuff like this. If you don't, or if you do bigger than this, like, hey, no judgment, you know, everyone does their own thing. And that's the cool part of living life. I know Easter baskets have kind of become like Christmas morning 2.0, but my kids haven't even said anything about it. And I think they would be totally fine if I didn't even give them anything. So, but I know the kids are going to be pumped and excited about all the fun stuff that I found for them because honestly, I would be too. I honestly can't even believe that Alex got me an Easter basket. So I'm so horrible / preoccupied that my kids missed out on their Easter baskets yesterday. So they are going to get them today. These are their little name tags that I got from Brittany Morrow's shop. What happened to her? Is she on Instagram still? Is she on YouTube? I feel like I haven't seen anything from her. Anyway, I'll have to search for her. But these are the Easter baskets. Last time I shared the haul with you, I didn't have like anything for Avelina. Well, when I went to the thrift store, I found a lot. I found Spider-Man plush. She loves Spider-Man. Oh, it was perfect until I touched it. I gotta take these stickers off. A makeup eraser for $1. I'm sorry, they're like unopened. I found one for Eleanor as well, along with this charity pot. It's not expired yet. It's wild. Water balloons. Oh, I found a set of 3 of these Trader Joe's body butters. Again, unopened. So wild. So I put 2 in Eleanor's, 1 in Avelina's, and then I found this nut-free Kinder chocolate for her. All of the other kids got eggs. They all got Peeps. I found these goggles. She loves a Circle bottle. She raved about it. I bought it for her offline. I spent an arm and a leg on shipping and it broke. I'm not kidding. Over $30 for a water bottle. I was like, you better love this thing for the rest of your life. Anyway, it broke. And I found one at the thrift store. So I was very happy about that. Unopened, again, so cool. And then Meredith's, I feel like you saw all of the goodies in hers. Along with, I threw in some chocolates in all of the kiddos. I just dispersed some chocolates and chocolate bunnies and that kind of thing. Wentworth's too, he got an outfit. I'm not sure I shared that one with you. And then Eleanor, I mean, this always happens. I don't get much initially for 1 or 2 kids. And then they end up getting the most because I'm like, oh, I didn't get them anything. And then I guess I overcompensate. But I do have some rainbow Starbursts in the back, like freeze-dried Starbursts. I found those at Home Goods or to TJ Maxx, somewhere around there. And then some mini eggs that we didn't bust into yet because they were hiding in my closet. So I guess now is as good a time as any to bust into them and enjoy all of our Easter chocolates, goodies, and candies.